Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Akhmadaliev defeats Ronny Rios by a 12th round stoppage to retain his WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight titles. I have to say, this was a very, very good performance by Akhmadaliev. As you guys know, if you followed this channel for any period of time, you would know I've been quite high on Akhmadaliev for quite some time, before he was a world champion. And to me, this might just be his best performance to date, all things considered. Ronny Rios is a top 10 contender in the Super Bantamweight division. He was coming into this fight, coming off some good form, some good wins. He's always been there or thereabouts, and he'll give guys hard fights, but Akhmadaliev really bossed this fight as far as I'm concerned. Early on in this fight, first round, not too much happened. Both guys really were taking a look at each other, leading with their jabs. Obviously, Akhmadaliev being the southpaw, Ronny Rios being the orthodox. Both guys were kind of, fiddling around, popping the jab, seeing what was in front of them. I felt MJ's jab was more accurate. He landed a really good counter jab in the first round, and a couple of good straight left hands as well, and a couple of right hooks when he was stepping out to the side of Ronny Rios. Rios landed a few jabs himself, but nothing too serious. Round 1 to me was a pretty clear Akhmadaliev round. Round 2 was actually pretty close, pretty competitive. Ronny Rios upped the pressure in round 2, upped his output as well, throwing more power shots, and he landed a pretty good check left hook counter in the second round, and some good jabs, a couple of decent right hands. But, he was throwing more punches in round 2, but the quality was definitely coming from Akhmadaliev. His jab was far better. He was landing the straight left hand out of that southpaw stance, both to body and head. And you could really hear the difference in power when both guys were landing up. When MJ landed, you heard that big thud, whereas with Ronny Rios, it wasn't quite the same, MJ definitely landed the harder shots in round 2, though it was competitive. Round 3, I felt Akhmadaliev took over, completely bossing the fight in terms of range. Although Ronny Rios was the taller fighter, Akhmadaliev had the longer arms, and he was getting his distancing spot on in this fight, firing the 1-2 from range. He was getting in and out nicely, spinning around the side of Ronny Rios, landing that right hook out of that southpaw stance, and he was landing some good single punches in the third round. Again, Ronny Rios tried his best to apply that pressure behind that high guard, but he never really got anything going, in my opinion. Round 4 was a big round for Akhmadaliev. He caught Ronny Rios with I believe, I think it was a left uppercut to the body or a left hook to the body, one of the two, and it really doubled over Ronny Rios. He was badly hurt to the body in round 4. He actually did really well to stay on his feet. He wasn't really throwing shots back. He was doubling over, trying to roll and protect his body, which he was doing, but he was taking shots to the head at this point. Akhmadaliev would throw like a looping right hook, which was catching Ronny Rios on the top of his head. Ronny Rios was rolling the shot, but he was getting caught. It was almost like when Ronny Rios was protecting his body and trying to roll shots, Akhmadaliev, he threw his right hook almost in a Golovkin type fashion, where he brought it up from high and then brought it back down, catching Rios on the top of the head. Round 4 was a really bad round for Ronny Rios, though he landed a couple of good shots towards the end of the round, showing some good heart. Round 5 was a little more circumspect, kind of following the pattern of round 3, where it was MJ really just dictating the pace behind that jab, picking his shots, making Ronny Rios reset, rinse and repeat. And same with round 6 really, but at the end of round 6, Akhmadaliev made it clear to his corner that he hurt his left hand, and in round 7 you could see that he barely threw a left hand in round 7, and that was Ronny Rios' best round of the fight. I think that's the round that he definitely won in this fight. He just outworked Akhmadaliev. He landed some good body shots, a couple of good jabs, some nice overhand rights, whereas Akhmadaliev was just seeing the round out, basically, assessing his hands. But yeah, round 7, I felt Ronny Rios won. But to Akhmadaliev's credit, in round 8, he didn't really throw a left hand, but he started to tag Ronny Rios with his southpaw right hook. I mean, he was doubling and tripling up that right hook, and it was getting around the guard of Ronny Rios. And yeah, round 8 was a really, really good round for MJ Akhmadaliev. And you could see, the commentators were saying, oh, why isn't Ronny Rios applying pressure? Because, MJ's hand is hurt. And his corner man, Ronny Rios' trainer, picked up on that as well, that MJ hurt his hand. But I was saying, oh, why is he not applying crazy pressure? Well, he was feeling those shots. If you heard those shots land, they were thudding shots all throughout the fight. So he had too much. The power of Akhmadaliev put a lot of respect into Ronny Rios, and he wasn't willing just to pressure like that. But yeah, I mean, after round 8, it was pretty circumspect. Ronny Rios had one good round. I think it was round 11 maybe. He might have won that round. And in round 12 was where the fight ended. Akhmadaliev, having the fight won already, decided to open up, and he landed a multi-punch combination, including the left hand. His left hand came back into play. Great combination to start round 12. He caught Ronny Rios with a body shot with the left hand, which once again doubled over Ronny Rios. He followed up on it and dropped Ronny Rios. Ronny Rios basically took a knee. Rios beat the count. He gets up, tries to fight on valiantly, taking body shots and head shots, trying to roll, trying to slide. But the referee, with about a minute and a half left, decided to show some compassion and wave it off. I know there might be some people out there who say that was a bad stoppage, but Ronny Rios was done. He wasn't winning that fight. There was only a minute left. I guess it's best to save him for another day. But yeah, I mean, all things considered, I felt this was a very good performance by MJ Akhmadaliev. First and foremost, he got the stoppage, which is what we always like. He had the fight won and still showed that desire to force the stoppage, which I like. After his hand was injured, he wasn't panicking. He was still boxing well, showed good composure. It's a good learning experience for him. And yeah, I mean, all throughout, really, he bossed this fight. In terms of range, he was landing the cleaner, harder, eye-catching shots. I felt he showed pretty good defense. There have been times, in MJ's career in the past where he's really switched off in certain fights, where he's tried to do a bit too much, and he'll get himself caught. But I felt he was much more defensively responsible in this fight. Showed good footwork, good punch variety, good power. And yeah, again, Ronny Rios is a good fighter. He's a genuine top 10 contender. I'm not saying he's like top 2, top 3 in the weight class, but he's top 10. He was coming off some good form going into this fight, beating the unbeaten Diego De La Hoya. He beat Oscar Negrete, so he was coming off some good form going into this fight. But MJ Akhmadaliev just had too much, and he put on a really good performance. And yeah, I mean, what more can I say, really? I personally feel it was MJ's most complete performance in his career to date. And, he's a unified champion, WBA and IBF. The other guy in the division, of course, is Stephen Fulton, who's got the WBC and WBO. I think that is the fight that needs to happen next. That would be a tremendous fight. And honestly, I think it's a 50-50. Stephen Fulton is a very versatile boxer. He can box on the back foot. He can fight on the inside. He's got great output. Not a big puncher, though. Whereas MJ is an explosive, I would say MJ is an explosive counterpuncher. So put those two guys together, it will be a really good fight. And again, I'm not trying to sit on the fence, but I genuinely think that fight's a 50-50. If it goes to the distance, I think Fulton wins on points, but I believe that MJ can hurt and maybe knock out Stephen Fulton. I really do. Fulton's been hurt in the past, and I think MJ's got the power, the reflexes, the speed to potentially catch him. So, to me, that's a great fight. It's a 50-50 fight. It's an undisputed fight. That is the fight that needs to happen next, as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, I mean, share your thoughts below, guys. What did you think of this fight? What did you think of MJ's performance? Me, personally, I was very impressed and I was satisfied with how he ended this fight. Really, really talented fighter, MJ Akhmadaliev. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.